Listen to me now and hear me good. This first step, this is the granite. This is the cornerstone. The world, from the second you draw breath, it's gonna try and slap a label on you, tell you who you are, what you should want, how you should feel. Your mama, your daddy, your teachers, your friends, that glowing rectangle you carry everywhere, they all got an opinion, a script they want you to read. But I'm asking you deep down, past all that noise, who are you? I've been there, man. Standing on stages, cameras flashing, people calling my name, and a little voice inside whispering, "Who is this guy they're all looking at? Is that me?" When the lights go down, when the applause fades, when it's just you and the four walls, that's when the real work begins. You got a look in that mirror. I don't mean a quick glance to fix your collar. I mean stare into your own eyes until you see past the reflection, until you see the flicker of every truth you've tried to bury, every dream you've dismissed, every fear you've run from. Ask the questions that make your palms sweat. What ignites that fire in your soul so bright it could light up a city? And what are those shadows, those corners of your heart you keep locked away even from yourself? What are your deepest shames, the things that make you wince in the dark? What are your secret glories, the triumphs nobody else saw? Don't just think about it. Drag it out into the light. Write it down till the ink runs dry. Speak it into the silence of an empty room until the words feel real on your tongue. Get brutally, terrifyingly, wonderfully honest. Because trying to build happiness on a stranger, and that stranger is you, is like building a skyscraper on quicksand. You can have the shiniest facade, the most beautiful decorations, but if that foundation ain't solid, if you haven't dug deep and faced the unfiltered, unvarnished truth of who you are, the magnificent and the messy, then the first storm, the first real shake-up, and the whole thing comes crashing down around your ears. But when you excavate down to that bedrock, when you know yourself, warts and wonders alike, that, my friends, that is where true strength lies. That's where the unshakable peace begins. That's where your happiness, the kind that nobody can take away from you, finally gets to plant its roots and grow. Now, once you've looked that truth in the eye, once you've started to understand the landscape of you, then it's time to build. Think about it. Your mind, your spirit, that ain't just some empty space between your ears. That's your domain. That's your private real estate, the most valuable plot of land you'll ever own. And for too long, maybe you've let it go untended. Maybe you've let the weeds of doubt and negativity choke out the good stuff. Or worse, you've thrown open the gates and let every passerby, every fleeting opinion, every shouting headline, plant whatever junk they wanted right in the middle of your sacred ground. They've been dumping their anxieties, their limitations, their fears into your soil. Well, I'm here to tell you, no, more. Being truly happy, standing strong in your own company, means you become the architect, the master gardener, the vigilant guardian of that inner world. You decide what grows there. You decide what gets built. What are the things that make your soul sing, even when no one else is listening? What are those passions that, when you engage with them, time just melts away and you feel utterly, completely alive? Is it the rhythm of a drum, the wail of a saxophone? Then don't just listen, feel it. Pick up that instrument. Let your fingers find the notes, even if they're clumsy at first. Let the vibrations resonate through your bones. Is it the universe held within the pages of a book? Then don't just skim devour them. Let the words transport you. Argue with the characters, weep with them, learn from their mistakes and their triumphs. Let those stories expand the very boundaries of what you thought was possible. Maybe it's the stroke of a paintbrush on canvas, bringing colors to life that only you can see. Maybe it's the quiet satisfaction of kneading dough, the scent of baking bread filling your kitchen, a simple act of creation that grounds you. Or perhaps it's the feel of the earth beneath your feet on a solitary hike, the whisper of the wind through ancient trees, the vastness of the starlit sky making you feel both small and infinitely connected. These things, people, these are not just idle distractions. These are not just hobbies to kill time. These are the bricks and mortar of your inner sanctuary. These are the tools you use to furnish the rooms of your soul, to hang art on the walls of your spirit. This is the rich, fertile soil where your resilience grows, where your creativity blossoms, where your peace finds a home. I've spent a lifetime stepping into other men's shoes, exploring their worlds, their hearts. And every role, every story, every deep dive into character, it wasn't just about the film. It was about adding another room, another perspective, another layer of understanding to my own inner landscape. You gotta do that for yourself. Build it strong. Make it beautiful. Make it a place so rich, so vibrant, so uniquely yours, that you look forward to spending time there, that it nourishes you from the inside out, whether the world outside is cheering your name or doesn't even know you exist. All right, so you're building that inner world, that sanctuary, beautiful, but let me ask you this. How often do you actually sit in it? How often do you just be in that space you're creating, without the world banging on the door? We live in an age, man, where silence is almost a sin. The minute it gets quiet, what do? We twitch. We reach for that phone like it's a lifeline, scroll through other people's noise, binge. Watch shows, anything to fill what we think is a void. We're bombarded, a constant tsunami of information, opinions, demands, notifications buzzing and beeping, pulling us in 1,000 different directions. It's like we're terrified of what we might hear if all that external racket just stopped. But I'm telling you, that so-called void, that silence you're running from, that's not emptiness. Oh no, that's the training ground. That's the arena where you meet yourself. That's where the real gold is buried. And it takes discipline, hear me, discipline. This ain't some passive, zen out thing you do once in a blue moon. This is like an athlete pushing their body past its limits, day in, day out. You gotta train your mind to embrace the stillness, to not just tolerate it, but to seek it. I've been in rooms, quiet rooms, preparing, searching for the truth of a character, and in that quiet, the layers peel back. It's the same for you, finding the truth of you. Start small. I'm not asking you to go meditate on a mountaintop for a month. 5 minutes? Can you give yourself 5 minutes? No phone, no TV, no music, no book. Just you. Just you and the sound of your own breath, the beat of your own heart. And yeah, it's gonna be uncomfortable at first. Your mind's gonna scream at you. It'll race like a wild horse, throwing up every worry, every to-do list, every distraction it can find to pull you back into the noise. Let it. Don't wrestle with it. Don't judge it. Just sit there like you're on the bank of a river watching those thoughts float by. Because in that practice, in that deliberate act of not reacting, something powerful begins to happen. The static starts to clear, the frantic chatter begins to quieten, and in that growing stillness, you start to hear a different voice, a quieter voice, a wiser voice. It's been there all along, drowned out by the chaos. It's your voice, your intuition, your deeper knowing. You learn to distinguish your own true thoughts from the recycled opinions you've absorbed. You learn that you are not your anxieties. You learn that you have an anchor within you, a calm center that the storms of the world can't touch. This stillness, this ability to sit with yourself and not flinch, not run, that's not just peace, that's power. That's a superpower in a world that's addicted to distraction. It's where you recharge, where you gain clarity, where you find the strength to navigate the noise when you choose to step back into it. But first, you gotta be willing to just sit and listen to nothing. And to everything. Now this one. This one hits close to home for a lot of folks. Whose movie are you living in? I want you to really think about that. From the time you were knee-high, somebody somewhere started handing you pages of a script. A script that wasn't yours. Your well-meaning parents, your teachers, the movies you watched, the songs you heard, the perfectly curated lives you see flashing across your screens, they all got a version of what your life should be. They tell you happiness looks like this. A certain job by a certain age, a ring on your finger by another, 2.5 kids, a house with a picket fence, a calendar overflowing with social engagements. And if your life doesn't match that picture, especially if you find yourself in a quiet moment alone, that script whispers something's wrong, you're falling behind, you're not enough. And too often, we believe it. We internalize that narrative until it feels like our own skin, even when it's chafing us raw. We start chasing someone else's idea of a happy ending, running ourselves ragged trying to fit into a role we were never meant to play. I've seen it 1,000 times. Brilliant souls dimming their own light, trying to squeeze into a costume that wasn't tailored for them, reading lines that taste like ash in their mouths. They're like an actor, a damn good actor, given the wrong part, and they're out there on the world stage, giving a performance that feels hollow, even to themselves, because they let somebody else define what success meant, what joy felt like, what a worthy life looked like. They let the presence or absence of another person beside them dictate their value on any given Tuesday. But listen to me. You hold the pen. At any moment, you have the power to rip up that old script, page by page, toss it in the fire, and start writing your own damn story. Your narrative, you decide what the plot twists are. You decide who the main character that's you truly is, what they stand for, what makes their heart soar. If your masterpiece involves quiet evenings with a stack of books and a mind at peace, then that, my friend, is an Oscar-worthy scene. If your journey calls for solitude to create, to heal, to discover, then that solitude isn't a failure. It's a sacred chapter in your epic. Don't let the background noise of the world, the expectations of others, or the ghosts of outdated narratives tell you that your worth is measured by your +1, or the number of likes on a post. Reclaim your narrative. This is your life, your one precious shot. You are the director, the producer, the writer, and the star of this blockbuster. You get to define the terms of your own happiness. You get to decide what a win looks like. And when you grab that pen with both hands, with courage and conviction, and start writing from your soul, from your truth, that's when the real magic ignites. That's when being alone isn't a sentence. It's a choice, a space, a powerful act of self-authorship. So what story are you going to write starting today? Own it, live it, make it a bestseller. Now, here's where it all comes together. Here's the beautiful, paradoxical payoff of this whole journey into being happy alone. When you've done the work, when you've stared into that mirror and embraced the unfiltered you, when you've cultivated that rich inner sanctuary, when you've learned to sit in the power of stillness, when you've ripped up those old scripts and started writing your own magnificent story, something profound shifts. You're no longer operating from a place of deficit. You're no longer walking through the world with a gaping hole in your soul, desperately hoping someone, anyone, will come along and fill it. Think about that. How many relationships, friendships, romantic entanglements, even family dynamics are built on that shaky foundation of neediness, of I need you to make me feel whole, of I'm scared to be by myself, so please just stay. That's not connection, that's clinging. That's not love, that's a transaction based on fear. But when you've found that bedrock of happiness within yourself, when your own company is a source of joy and contentment, when you are already full up with your own passions, your own peace, your own purpose, then, oh man, then your interactions with other human beings transform. They become choices, not crutches. They become celebrations, not escapes. You don't need anyone to complete you because you realize, with a deep, resonant certainty, that you were never incomplete to begin with. And because that desperate need is gone, you are free to choose. You can approach others not with an empty cup begging to be filled, but with a cup that is already overflowing, ready to share. Imagine the quality of those connections. You're drawn to people not because they fill a void, but because they genuinely resonate with the fullness you already embody. You can appreciate them for who they are, not for what they can do for you or how they can distract you from yourself. Your relationships become cleaner, clearer, more authentic, more powerful, because they are born from a place of strength, not scarcity. You can give freely without expectation of return, because you're not trying to bargain for your self-worth. You can receive love and friendship with open hands, because you're not afraid of being abandoned. If it doesn't last forever, you know you'll still be whole. This is the ultimate freedom. This is connecting from a place of abundance, of sovereignty. When you are truly, deeply happy alone, you don't build walls to keep people out. You build bridges from a place of unshakable inner peace. You become a lighthouse, not a life raft. You offer your light, your warmth, your presence, not because you're scared of the dark, but because you have so much light within you, it naturally spills over. That, my friends, is the purpose. To be so good with yourself, so at peace in your own skin, that your connections are a joyful dance, not a desperate grasp. You come to the table of life not looking for someone else to bring the feast, but bringing your own damn banquet, ready to share with those who are also bringing theirs. So, we've walked this path together today, haven't we? We've dug deep. We've talked about stripping away the masks and facing that raw, unfiltered truth of who you are. We've talked about becoming the master architect of your own inner world, that sacred sanctuary where your spirit can truly breathe. We've talked about the fierce discipline it takes to embrace the stillness, to find the wisdom in the quiet when the whole world is screaming for your attention. We've talked about grabbing that pen with both hands and writing your story, reclaiming your narrative from anyone who ever tried to dictate your worth. And we've seen how, from that place of inner fullness, your connections with others become richer, truer, chosen not from fear, but from strength. This ain't just some feel, good talk, some words to fill the air and then evaporate when you walk out that door. No, this is a blueprint. This is a gauntlet thrown down. This is an invitation, a dare, to unearth a power that's been lying dormant within you, perhaps for far too long, buried under layers of expectation and noise, being happy alone. It's not about building a fortress around yourself, shutting the world out in bitter isolation. Lord, no. It's about discovering that the kingdom you've been seeking, the peace you've been craving, the validation you've been chasing, it's already within you. It's about opening yourself up to the incredible, resilient, endlessly fascinating human being you are when all the external applause fades, when the likes stop coming, when the room is quiet and it's just you. It's about finding that symphony that only your soul can compose, that rhythm that only your heart truly knows, and then having the unshakable guts to dance to it, even if, especially if, you're the only one in the room who hears the music. Don't you ever let anyone tell you that your quiet moments are empty, that your solitude is a sign of lack. No, those moments are full. They are pregnant with possibility, full of discovery, full of peace, full of you in your most potent, undiluted form. So, I'm looking at you now, each and every one of you, and I see it. I see that flicker, that spark wanting to ignite. The world out there is loud. It's relentless. It's demanding. It will try to pull you back into the old currents, the old fears, the old stories that told you weren't enough on your own. But you hold the keys now. You've seen the map. You know the path. So I say to you, with every fiber of my being, go. Go find that profound stillness amidst the raging storm of the everyday. Go build that inner sanctuary, brick by precious, intentional brick, until it stands as a testament to your own beautiful spirit. Go grab that pen and write a story so authentic, so powerful, so undeniably you, that it makes the heavens themselves lean in to listen. Discover the profound joy, the unshakable strength, the quiet thunder of your own magnificent company. Because when you are good with you, truly good, deep down in the marrow of your bones good with you, you're not just happy alone. You are a force of nature. You are a beacon. You are ready for anything this life throws your way, and you will meet it with grace, with power, and with an open heart. Go out there and be that. The world is waiting, desperately waiting, for the real you to stand up and show up. God bless you. Now go live it.